My name is Daniel O'Toole. I'm a partner at Block O'Toole and Murphy.
My name is Fred Aranki. I'm a partner at Block O'Toole and Murphy. Selma Chaikin was our client. She was 78 years old at the time of the accident. She was someone who was, despite her age, very active, would go to the gym every day by herself and work out for an hour, which was something that a lot of people her age obviously can't do or won't do. She was someone who was a prominent stage actress back in the day. She was a real lively, very nice woman who we had the honor to represent. So on the day of the accident, Shami, who could walk on her own, but if she was walking a long distance, she would use an electric scooter. She took her scooter out of her apartment and she took the same route that she would go every day to go to the YMCA gym down in the village. And she was riding the scooter in a designated lane that was only for pedestrians and bicycles. And a gentleman working for the New York City Parks Department, driving a City Parks Department sanitation truck, illegally drove that truck into the designated area for bikes and pedestrians, basically because it was closer for him to empty the garbage for the adjacent park instead of going around or parking somewhere else. Did not see Shami riding her scooter, partially because she was in his blind spot that he admitted was there, and also because one of the side view mirrors on the right side, on the passenger side of the vehicle, was broken, which he knew was broken before he took the truck out of the yard that day. Did not see Shami and ran her over and basically fractured almost the entire left side of her body from head to toe.
Fred and I met Shami. She was in the hospital, and it was a really tragic sight to see. The fact that she survived this accident was an absolute miracle. She wasn't conscious the first time we saw her. We were introduced by a niece of hers. She was fractured. Virtually her entire left side was fractured. But she was a fighter, and boy, she had a heart the size of the city. She worked really hard to heal, worked really hard on her physical therapy after the many bones that were fractured healed.
Her healing process was also complicated by the fact that she had had bilateral hip replacements before the accident, just from degenerative conditions, degenerative arthritis. So she had some issues, age-related issues going into this, and so this just complicated and lengthened her recovery. But I think a lot of her good recovery had to do with her being strong in mind and heart and just really never giving up.
She was a great example for us. She was an artist till the day she died, and she was alive until the day she died. And she taught us a lot, about living life.
To be honest, they didn't have a great defense on this case with regard to the liability part of the case. Photographs from the scene of the accident showed a sign at the entrance to the bike and pedestrian lane, which clearly said no trucks. And when I showed the truck driver the picture, and I said, "What does that mean to you?" And he said, "That means no trucks." So it was an area that he knew well. He knew he wasn't supposed to be there. He knew that his mirror was broken. He knew he had a blind spot, and that the purpose of the mirrors was to show the blind spot that he couldn't see with his own eyes. The broken mirror was recorded in his pre-trip inspection sheet, and it was also something that he testified he knew was there beforehand, but instead of getting the mirror replaced or getting a different truck, he took that truck out.
Accidents always happen for a reason, and almost always the reason is people are choosing either convenience or money over safety. But it's our job as lawyers to make the jury understand how the accident happened and why the defense is negligent for the happening of the accident.
The case settled for $3 million during the jury selection process.
And we were both really proud of that number, because what happens in personal injury cases is, as your clients are elderly, which, as I get older, I don't consider anyone elderly, but Shami, by the time the case was done, she had to be close to 80, right, Fred?
She was 80, yeah.
So, when you represent someone that's advanced in years, you want to make sure you get the case done as quickly as you can for them. And in terms of what it did for Shami, it made her feel more free. She could do what she wanted for her final years. She could travel more freely. She could spend money on her friends, spend money on experiences, which she did. And again, I'd say it made her remaining years much happier. I mean, it was never without pain after this accident. Certainly it slowed her down a bit, but as I said earlier, what a wonderful example she was. You couldn't beat her spirit, no matter what. She was a special woman who Fred and I definitely still carry a part of today.
For sure.